Okay. So thank you very much, Bernie and Esther. I think you have said a lot of things I was about to say. Definitely, this is a very important moment for us to discuss the food loss and waste. And like Esther mentioned, we have to distinguish what is a food loss and what is food waste, right? So there are different technologies and processing techniques that we can help on this issue and further contribute to the climate change. And then I will slowly come to the point. So if we look at particularly the post-harvest loss, globally, actually 45% of the fruits and vegetables are lost. And also 45% of roots and tubers are lost. And then that goes to 35% of fish and seafood. I have put up a table on the left-hand side as to compare different continents and markets and where the food loss and waste are happening. So if you look at Europe and North America, these are more developed countries. You will see that the food waste and loss mainly happen that is actually have a big proportion at the consumer ends. And then, of course, there is a food waste and loss from production to retailing. So the percentage is, the difference in their percentages are rather small. However, if you look at Southeast Asia, for example, this is very obvious to us that from production to retailing, the food waste and loss is significantly higher in percentage comparing to the occurrence at the consumer end. What does that mean? That actually tells us that we really need to improve our post-harvest food loss, because normally the waste happens at the consumer end, but then the loss happens before the food will reach to the consumers. Why is that important that we need to improve the post-harvest management? First of all, from the people perspective, this will really strengthen the livelihood for the farmers and families who dependent on the agriculture for the income. Less loss and waste, less loss here, that means more income for them. And for the planet, the climate change has a strong impact on the food industry. And then when more food are lost in the field, that means more carbon emission into the atmosphere that does not contribute to our planet. So if we look at the profit, food loss prevention is not only to reduce the loss, but how can we further process the food so that they have a higher value? I think today we have very interesting talks from Covestro's regional partners. They will mention about not only the techniques that we can use, but also how can we do branding, how can we do better processing, how can we focus on organic farming in order to have a higher value for our produce. When we focus on Asia and the Pacific, 50% of the population resides in this area. But then the inefficient and inappropriate post-harvest management leads to from 20% to 50% losses along the post-harvest value chain in ASEAN alone. That is equivalent to over 100 million tons of food production loss, or roughly $5 billion of value. So what could be the solution? I'm not saying that this is the only solution out there to help, but this is one of the solutions that Covestro has worked tirelessly with our partners in the region to promote. So let me introduce you to the solar dryer dome technology. We have successfully implemented this intervention in different market countries around Southeast Asia and also in South Asia, such as India and Nepal. So this is a very mature technology that we have been promoting in order to have a better post-harvest management. So we, as the solar dryer technology, was also awarded as an efficient solution by the Solar Impulse Foundation for 2019. This solution will reduce the food loss by hygienic drying, reduce fungus, and longer to promote a longer storage, so that there is a life span that is longer for the produce. And then this will increase the dried product quality, thus value. So when you dry it in a more hygienic way into a better quality, then you will generate more value on your produce. And then that also means the increased income. Solar dryer is a seemingly very simple technology, which is also true because it is a very low maintenance required technology. So as you can see, the technology itself is an installation based on a specially formulated cement floor, which provides better reflection to the whole device. And it is covered by Covestro's material that is guaranteed for lasting at least 10 years. And then we have this iron frame to support the whole installation that is also powered through the solar panels for the ventilation system. What can the solar dryer actually do? One of the most important features of a solar dryer is improving the efficiency and the productivity of solar drying. So traditionally, we put the produce along the roadside for drying under the sun. If you compare different produce on my slides, you will see a significant improvement in efficiency. Yeah, and then you can also test the moisture content on different produce after the drying time. So we will see a significant improvement in the efficiency gain from 33% up to even 70%, depending on your produce that you are drying. So why is it important? As I have started mentioning, having a better post-harvest management does not only mean that we dry our produce and that is it. This definitely helps on the reduction of food loss. But how can we do better besides the prevention of the loss? That is to actually add value to our produce.
Last 2 minutes.
Okay. I think I'm okay. As Bernie just mentioned that she has been to Thailand, she has seen the product that is from dried banana with a nicer packaging, with chocolate dipping, and these are all value add to the produce. So from a single fresh banana's price to a nicely boxed a banana, there is a significant improvement in its price. So solar dry has been widely used in different productions. I'm showing you on my screen the different samples, such as cacao. And then you can further produce or process the cacao into different end applications. And then, of course, coffee. So we have coffee farmers in Vietnam utilizing solar dryers that help them to increase the coffee beans price for 3 to 4 times higher than before. Then, of course, you can further process coffee, banana, as I just mentioned, as you can see the differences in the open air drying and also the solar drying. And then you can also process the banana into different produce. Pineapple here. And then you can make a pineapple jam, and of course, you can also make a pineapple wine, such as also mango, dried mango. I think everyone is very familiar. And also, solar dryer can be also used in high value spices, such as chili, and also seafood. So it is actually a very versatile application of a solar dryer. And then, as I have mentioned, it is only the start to reduce the food loss, but also it is the stepping stone for adding value to your for your future products, where you can also tackle not only the domestic, but also the export market. And Covestro is not only the provider for this technology, we also partner with our partners in the region to provide the capacity building. So I will hand this back to Bernie, and then I hope you enjoy the sharing from our partners in the region. Thank you.